the true story of a shepherd and a giant. In the ancient land of Israel, during the reign of King Saul around 1020 BC, the people of God were once again at war. Their enemy was a powerful and ruthless group known as the Philistines, seafaring people who had settled along the coast in cities like Gaza, Ashkelon, and Gath. The two armies met in a place called the Valley of Elah, a real location southwest of Jerusalem. The Philistines stood on one hill, the Israelites on another, and between them was the valley where battle would be decided. But instead of rushing into combat, the Philistines sent out a terrifying champion, Goliath of Gath. This man was no ordinary warrior. He was a giant standing over 9 feet tall. To put that into perspective, that's taller than an NBA basketball hoop. His armor alone weighed over 125 pounds. His bronze helmet gleamed in the sun, and the shaft of his spear was like a thick beam of wood. The iron tip of the spear weighed more than 15 pounds. He could hurl it with deadly force. Goliath shouted across the valley, "Greater than, why do you come out to line up for battle? Choose a man and have him come down to me. If he is able to fight and kill me, we will become your subjects. But if I overcome him and kill him, you will become our subjects and serve us." He repeated this challenge for 40 days, every morning and evening. 40 is a symbolic number in Scripture, often tied to testing or judgment. The Israelites were terrified. Even King Saul, once a brave warrior, stayed in his tent. No one dared step forward. Meanwhile, about 15 miles away in the small town of Bethlehem, a young shepherd named David was watching over his father Jesse's sheep. David was the youngest of 8 sons. His older brothers Eliab, Abinadab, and Shammah had already joined Saul's army. David wasn't just a shepherd, he was also a talented musician, poet, and a man deeply devoted to God. He would one day write many of the Psalms found in the Bible. One day Jesse called his youngest son, "Take this roasted grain and these loaves of bread to your brothers and check on them. Bring me back news." So David, carrying supplies and a heart full of obedience, traveled to the battlefield. When he arrived, he found the Israelite army getting ready for battle. He ran to greet his brothers. As he spoke with them, the giant Goliath stepped forward once again, shouting his challenge. The soldiers trembled, but David was stunned. Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? To David, this wasn't just a military challenge. It was blasphemy and insult against the name of God himself. The soldiers told David that King Saul had promised wealth, marriage to his daughter, and freedom from taxes to anyone who defeated the giant. David's boldness caught the attention of others, and word soon reached King Saul. David was summoned. Standing before the king, David said, "Let no one lose heart because of this Philistine. Your servant will go and fight him." Saul, perhaps amused or shocked, replied, "Greater than, you're not able to go out against this Philistine and fight him. You're just a boy, and he's been a warrior since his youth." But David answered with confidence, "Your servant has been keeping his father's sheep. When a lion or a bear came and took a sheep from the flock, I went after it, struck it, and rescued the sheep. I have killed both the lion and the bear. This Philistine will be like one of them. The Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will deliver me from the hand of this Philistine." Saul, perhaps out of hope or desperation, agreed. He said, "Greater than, go, and may the Lord be with you." Saul tried to dress David in his own armor, but it was too big and heavy. David couldn't move properly in it, so he took it off. Instead, David chose what he knew: his shepherd's staff, his sling, and 5 smooth stones from the stream. With no armor, no sword, and no shield, David walked into the valley to face the most feared warrior in the land. Goliath saw him coming and laughed. "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks? Come here, and I'll give your flesh to the birds and wild animals." But David didn't flinch. "You come against me with sword, spear, and javelin. But I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel." The moment had come. Goliath moved forward. David ran toward him. He reached into his bag, pulled out a stone, and placed it in his sling. He spun it rapidly over his head and released it. The stone flew through the air and struck Goliath in the center of his forehead. The giant fell, not backwards, but face down. The ground shook. Silence swept the battlefield. David rushed forward, took Goliath's own sword, and cut off his head. The Philistines panicked and fled. The Israelite army shouted and chased them all the way to the gates of Ekron. David, the boy shepherd, had done what no trained soldier could do, not with size, strength, or weapons, but with faith. After the battle, King Saul asked, "Greater than whose son is this young man?" David answered, "Greater than I am the son of your servant Jesse of Bethlehem." And from that day forward, David's name would never be forgotten. The boy who trusted in God became the man after God's own heart, the future king of Israel.
Thank you for joining me in this telling of the story of David and Goliath. Please subscribe and go in peace.